listen, I am fighting this tyrannical police state.
Right.
Get out there and say it.
Mm-hmm. We all got to speak our truth. And I try to, Greg, talk on a deeper level in terms of my perception of reality because I want to share that with the audience, at least plant a seed. So it's not necessarily like you've got to believe with everything that I'm saying or my beliefs on the future and the past and the present, but it's just food for thought. It's seeds. Take what you want, leave the rest. This is about becoming aware of our predicament and circumstance, not just simply sitting in our poop, hoping someone else takes it out of the kennel.
Well, here's the bottom line for me, and I don't think anybody can speak for anything but themselves. If you look at America, the country that we are in, the country that we have created, our forefathers have created, we are supposed to be free, okay? So if you look at what our forefathers in the 1700s did, they created a supposedly free state. If you go back to the East Coast in those years, we were free people. If you go back to the 1800s even, we were free people. What we need to do, I think, Alex, and I don't speak for you, I don't speak for anybody but myself, just like you don't speak for anybody but yourself. We need to be free people in what we do, in where we live, in how we live our lives. That is the American way.
And to me, that's something spiritual. It is more about the spiritual experience of man that seeks to be free and find happiness. Man deserves the right to seek enlightenment in this particular five-sense reality. God-given rights, not given by man. We are born free men. We are not going to submit to the fact that our names on our license plates are capital letters. We're not going to accept the fact that we're corporations. We refuse to accept their laws. We refuse in our hearts to participate in the beast system. We don't feel dependent on it. We seek to be independent. We seek to free ourselves. We seek to free others. It is a spiritual experience, and it's all about love for those that can actually feel that vibration.
Alex, you are completely correct. And let me add to that. A constitution, a Bill of Rights, any document, no matter what it is, who wrote it, I don't care if it was Jesus Christ or you. Nobody gives you rights. Rights are born unto you. You are born with rights. You are not given rights by the state, because as soon as you let the state give you rights, then you let the state take them away.
Greg, you know anything about the Founding Fathers? I have read that it was between 1% and 3% that fought the Revolutionary War. Those that were loyal to King George, they went to Canada. So when I'm bullhorning like I was the other day at Waterfront Park on the 7th anniversary of the invasion and gang rape of Iraq and Afghanistan, I might add, even though they went to Afghanistan in 2001, the fact of the matter still remains. While you're shopping, bombs are dropping, but the response comes from the sheeple, the Kool-Aid drinkers, the very dedicated ones. If you don't like it, leave. When reality, if they don't like the fact that we're trying to reclaim our country, they need to go to a third world country. They need to go to Canada, because America belongs to Americans, and we're not giving up without a fight or going quietly into the dark of night.
Well, Alex, I got to take you in a different direction real quick.
Sure.
If you think that America is American, then Canada or Canada, whatever it might be, Mexico is Mexican or Canada is Canadian. We are humans. We are humans. We belong to the earth. And
I believe we're humans first before Americans.
Absolutely.
True. American becomes secondary, but we're first human beings living on a planet, and we are one people, and we are one world, and we can have a one world of peace without a one world order, without a new world order, without a global elite and a bunch of corporations and NGOs running the show. We have to get rid of the capstone, the top of the pyramid, and we need to actually reverse the pyramid, turn it the other way. So the masses are dictating our reality.
That is true, and that's why even though we exist in this country, we have to realize that we are humans first, and that's why looking out for each other in our neighborhoods, in our communities, that's most important. And if we bring people from, look at what you've done. You bring people together. I mean, I remember when I first started talking with you, seeing the growth of you on your Facebook, on your radio show, on your TV. You are a builder of communities, and we love you for that. I just want you to know that.
Well, thank you very much, and that's one of the reasons I might be hanging around Portland longer than expected. Oh, well, thank you very much, Greg. We'll open up the phone line some more at 503-288-4442 to get your thoughts on some of the other things that we were discussing or any news headlines that you would like to mention this particular afternoon. Again, the website is alexanswery.com. And, of course, you can see the TV show at youtube.com/AlexAnswery. I also started a new YouTube channel for those that are into martial arts. It's called Alex Answery, youtube.com, Alex Answery Training. That's youtube.com, Alex Answery Training, for those that want to learn more about self-defense and things of that nature. So I actually decided I would separate the two YouTube channels, separate the content. With that, let's go ahead and go to the next phone call. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just had a question. Why is it that every week you always got something bad to say about Obama?
Yeah, because Obama is a black Bush, because Obama represents the Fourth Reich. The Nazis, sir, did not lose the war. They simply moved. Now, historically, what you have here is a situation where the CIA has gotten more and more power and control over our country, and more private mercenaries are operating in the Middle East, killing little girls and trafficking them for sexual purposes. Obama has expanded Blackwater's contract. Obama has appointed the head of Monsanto, genetically modified food, which I'm sure you've done research into, to head our agriculture department, and that affects our health. That's why some of you are getting more diseases, because you're not eating healthy food. To continue, the war is being expanded, so he's not pro-peace, he's not anti-war, he's pro-war, and he's working directly for Wall Street. Also, the banker bailout situation, where Obama actually gave the money to all those banks, $28 trillion. That's going to result in the destruction of this economy. I believe the reason that the white, powerful bankers chose a black man to pull off the crash of this economy and potentially World War III is to create a race war in this country. For those that don't know, that there is no difference between Bush and Obama, and it's not about Obama either. It's about the system that controls him, that's groomed him. And when Obama is gone, you're going to see the same agenda continue. If we continue to be divided over politicians, and whether we like them or not like them, we're not going to get anything done. We agree to disagree on the fact that September 11th was an inside job. When I started the show, it was based around investigating the events of that day that turned our country into a full-on police state. Well, they said 19 Arab hijackers turned our country into a police state. What about the war games on 9/11? What about Building 7? Now you go Obama. Obama's been asked multiple times, do you support another investigation of 9/11? And Obama was very clear he does not support a new investigation of 9/11. So we're at war right now in Iraq and Afghanistan based on the big 9/11 lie that has resulted in the deaths of millions of people. How do we say that we care about other races, or that we're becoming a more racially free society, a loving society, where we turn the other way when 1.4 million people are living in mass graves? How is that free? How is that love? How is that equal? I thank you for your call. Bill, we'll go ahead and go to that. Was it 2 calls on hold or just 1? Now, we had some roll-ins ready, but I'm not really sure where I put some of those. But you can join me on Facebook, and I post some updates there and whatnot. Facebook.com, just type in Alex Answery. There's also a MySpace page and a YouTube. So unfortunately, yes, we will continue to expose Obama's handlers. We will continue to expose George Bush and vote fraud and the whole thing that he started. But it didn't begin with Bush. It didn't begin with Clinton. It didn't begin with Bush Sr. Again, I take you back to 1913. The Federal Reserve System's been printing money out of thin air. We were actually bankrupt in 1933. And so the fact of the matter is, we're not on gold, we're not on silver. Our currency isn't backed by anything. And this whole banker bailout situation, printing money out of thin air, and the billions of dollars going to the war machine is going to result in the destruction of your currency, destruction of, your jobs for a lot of you. And, to deny that this is happening, that this is getting worse, is fairly sad. It's fairly naive, because the writing's on the wall, the documentation's there. You think, sir, that I'm just providing my opinion, but it's not an opinion. It's a fact that Obama works for the bankers. It's a fact there's no difference between Palin, McCain, Obama, and Biden. You don't think McCain is in on this? You don't think McCain threw the fight? You don't really think the bankers had all their money on McCain. He was a stooge. He was a retard. He was there to throw the fight. Anybody but Bush. Anybody but Bush. Anybody but Bush. Exactly. You got somebody other than Bush, and now you're going to get somebody else after Obama's gone. I mean, you've got to think really carefully. I mean, how much do you know about this guy? You don't know very much, but I know what you know. You know to point the finger at those that criticize.